It's you kind of highlighted this a little bit, but I'm curious to get your perspective on the idea. Your portfolio has a mix of both software that's might be for specific conditions, and then software we talk about, like Twistle, for example, is a more of a platform play that can manage care pathways for a variety of different individuals across internally across your hospital. And so I'm curious, what do you think is the right approach for health management? And do you guys tend to focus more specific verticals for managing conditions, or are you looking more on platform plays?
Yeah. I mean, that's a good question. And like the way I like to think about it is I think overall there's a place in the market for both large platform type offerings as well as kind of more like point solution type offerings. Um, excuse me. So from a platform perspective, if you look at some of our portfolio companies, like you mentioned, like Zealth, like they empower health systems to prescribe digital health apps more broadly, while solutions like Omada focus on specific chronic condition management or identification. And I think both of those have a place in Providence, and both of those have a place in the market. I think the difference is for the platform plays, like it's much harder to scale those companies, because you need customers to really dive in. Like for Twistle, we're a large customer of theirs. They have some other great customers, but it takes time to get customers up to speed and using multiple pathways. But like for other ones that are more kind of single issue oriented, it's a little faster from adoption curve. And so, I'd say like it kind of like there's no real right approach for health management. I think both of those are effective and both of those has their place. I think like if you're an entrepreneur or you're a startup, they're looking to kind of figure out, hey, should I make a platform or should I go into a specific chronic condition? Like the speed of adoption is kind of the critical factor that you need to figure out. And so like I guess maybe this is not necessarily exactly the question, but the advice I'd say is, if you're looking to like build a platform, make sure you have a lot of capital because you're going to need the runway to get it. And if you have kind of more chronic condition, make sure you get that adoption quickly because then you'll get your capital. Because if I'm an investor, I'm going to look at that first on that side. And so, I guess in summary, you can look at kind of both sides of those to be effective, and we've seen it be effective within our portfolio as well.
I like that advice. It's true. It definitely makes sense, and especially when you're talking about healthcare, the variety of different patients and the variety of different issues that you can have, and it's quite intense. So it definitely makes sense where you'd have to raise more capital as a platform play versus garner interest as a specific health management solution. I